You dig?
We need to be more careful and we need to take more responsibility for our health. That's the facts. The reason why most of us are in this condition is because we haven't eaten properly. We ain't been exercising like we should. We ain't been drinking our water. We ain't been fasting. We ain't been, eating fruits and vegetables and all that. And also, yes, the government got a hand in that too, because it's a liquor store in there.
This guy said the government got a hand in all that too. Food, water, exercise, everything he just named. And his evidence is because there's a liquor store where?
Corner. But it ain't no damn organic, non-GMO grocery stores in the hood.
Dude, what society you think you live in? That the government provides supermarkets, liquor stores, and what are you talking about? This is an open market. The people are the ones who create these businesses, man. What society you want to live in that you put everything on the government?
Period. It ain't none of that. Period. That's strategic as well. The chemicals in the water that they have in the old pipelines that help to cause cancer, that's strategic. The chemtrails.
Yeah, so now listen, man, the government just blatantly, they, the Illuminati, they just want to kill everybody. God damn. Even their own. All right, what about chemtrail? Let me go back. This guy and people like this guy, definitely in his religious movement, they believe in almost every conspiracy theory. I would love to interview this brother. Wait till stuff get right. I'm gonna pay this dude, and I'm not even gonna debate him. I just want to I want to ask the real questions. Like, yo, I want to just show how he agrees with every conspiracy theory. He's gonna go with Area 51. He's gonna go with Bigfoot. He's gonna go with ghosts. He's gonna go with 9/11 inside job or whatever job. It was definitely, he's gonna go with the Holocaust didn't happen. Name it. He might even say blacks are always here. The transatlantic slave trade never happened.
We've been, eating fruits and vegetables and all that. And also, yes, the government got a hand in that too, because it's a liquor store in every corner. But it ain't no damn organic, non-GMO grocery stores in the hood. Period. It ain't none of that. Period. That's strategic.
He said non-GMO. Now, my man couldn't even. Okay, listen. What is this talking point that GMO foods are dangerous or unhealthy? Can somebody please source up? This dude these are just talking points that's spewed over and over and over until it becomes a fact.
As well, the chemicals in the water that they have in the old pipelines that help to cause cancer, that's strategic. The chemtrails and the chemicals that they spray in the air every day.
Okay, you hear this guy? They spray chemicals in the air every day. All right, let's look at that. He says chemtrails. Most of you guys never even heard of contrails. All right, so let's see. Are they chemtrails or contrails? Now, again, when you're a conspiracy theorist, you just believe everything that's foreign to you. Anything you can't identify, anything you lack the knowledge of, it's automatically a government plot to harm people. So you see there's this mist in the air, right? It's automatically the government's trying to kill you. It rains and you see something in a puddle of water. That's from the sky. The government is trying to kill you. This is how you think when you're a conspiracy theorist. So let me just go ahead and Google chemtrails, contrails real fast and share my screen. We got to stop listening to guys like this and supporting people who had this guy on their platform. All right. So let me go ahead and do this quick video before my class starts. Now, I didn't want to make this the topic of tonight, so I want to get it out the way real fast. And this is just for documentation purposes. So it's just to go back and look at it. All right. So let me go ahead and do this chemtrail shit. Cool. All right. Let's nip this in the bud once and for all. Okay. Chemtrail conspiracy theory. The chemtrail, I'm here. The chemtrail conspiracy theory posits the erroneous belief that long-lasting condensation, there you go right here, trails or chemtrails consisting of chemical or biological agents left in the sky by high-flying aircraft sprayed for nefarious purposes undisclosed to the general public. Believers in this conspiracy theory say that while normal contrails dissipate relatively quickly, contrails that linger must contain additional substances. Those who subscribe to the theory speculate that the purpose of the chemical release may be solar radiation management, weather modification, psychological manipulation, human population control, biological or chemical warfare, or testing of biological or chemical agents on a population, and that the trails are causing respiratory illnesses and other health problems. Okay, the claim has been dismissed by the scientific community, of course. There's no evidence that purported chemtrails differ from normal water-based contrails routinely left by high-flying aircraft under certain atmospheric conditions. So we want RIZZA to prove that these are chemtrails. Okay, although proponents have tried to prove that chemical spraying occurs, their analyses have been flawed or based on misconceptions. Because of the persistence of the conspiracy theory and questions about government involvement, scientists and government agencies around the world have repeatedly explained that the supposed chemtrails are in fact normal contrails. Okay, so that's just an outline. Okay, here we go. Some more beliefs. All right, let's get this out the way. The beliefs. Let me hide this. Okay. Various versions of the chemtrail conspiracy theory have been propagated via the internet and radio programs like the one he's on, Big Facts. And again, we got to stop. We want to boycott something. We got to start boycotting any radio station, social media platform that invites these pseudos on there to spread misinformation that's harming our own people and people, period. Okay. Because they align themselves up with these crazy weirdo white folks that spread the same rhetoric on their people. There are websites dedicated to the conspiracy theory, and it is particularly favored by far-right groups because, by who? There are websites dedicated to the conspiracy theory, and it is particularly favored by far-right groups. You see who they align themselves with? You see who gives them their talking points? Because it fits well with the deep suspicion of government. Now, if you guys watched my American History 101 video earlier, if not, go watch it. You'll see that the southern states had a problem with government because in the inception of this country, in the beginning, in the Genesis, the states had more power than federal government, the federal government. After a while, the government realized the states were too powerful. They decided to make the federal government more powerful than the states. Pull and rank. The states disagreed. They formed the Confederate States, and the war happened. Okay, they lost. The Union won. From then, the federal government reigned supreme over the states. Okay, the states always, the supporters of the Confederate States always had a problem with the government being more powerful, reigning supreme over them. So they, from that point on, with their propaganda machines, just spewed a whole bunch of hate and false news, pseudoisms about the American government to make people undermine it and not trust it and give the states back the power, right? They were upset that the federal government had the audacity to tell them that they could no longer continue with African slavery. Okay, so your talking points, this rhetoric, this false news stems from the Confederation, right, movement, the Confederate States, their supporters. And you listen to their talking points, they mirror They're against all Democrats. Every time there's a presidential race, you'll see that both sides spew negativity towards Dem candidates, never Republican. They get a straight pass. Anyway, so I give you, that's a little background on why these conspiracy theories and why they have so much hate towards the American government. That's why they're mad that it reigns supreme over their state laws. So the federal law reigns supreme over state laws. They're mad, okay? And matter of fact, state laws got to line up with federal laws. They can't violate them. So as I was reading, a 2014 review of 20 chemtrail websites found that believers appeal to science in some of their arguments, but do not believe what academic or government employed scientists say. Scientists talk about don't accept the baby with the bathwater, whatever, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There you go. Okay, so it says scientists and federal agencies have consistently denied that chemtrails exist, explaining the sky tracks are simply persistent contrails. The review also found that believers generally hold that chemtrails are evidence of a global conspiracy. This sounds like a lot of guys have been on the panel. They allege various goals, which include profit. For example, manipulating future prices or making people sick to benefit drug companies, big pharma, vaccine companies, population control or weapons testing, use of weather as a weapon or testing bioweapons. So let me add some more context. So these same Southern supporters, right, sympathizers of the Confederate ideology, because they hold that position, they believe they're insecure and they're paranoid, so they believe the government's out to kill them specifically. You got to understand that they think it's still a war. They think the government's trying to silence them. Okay, this is how they feel. Okay, so anyway, one of these ideas is that clouds are being seeded with electrically conductive materials as part of a massive electromagnetic super weapons program based around the high frequency active auroral research program HARP, which a lot of us are familiar with if you was ever buying into these pseudo arguments, which I was at one point. Believers say chemtrails are toxic. The 2014 review found that they generally hold that every person is under attack and often express fear, anxiety, sadness, and anger about this. A 2011 study of the people from the US, Canada, and the UK found that 2.6% of the sample believed entirely in the conspiracy theory and 14% believed it partially. So good thing it doesn't grow. An analysis of responses given to the 2016 cooperative congressional election study showed that 9% of the 36,000 respondents believed it was completely true that the government has a secret program that uses airplanes to put harmful chemicals in the air, while a further 19% believed this was somewhat true. So there you go. Like, it's growing. Like, they really believe that the government just want to kill everybody. And this is a funny conspiracy theory, because you have these sympathizers of the Confederate States. They believe the aim is them, right? Black folks believe the aim is them. So it's the same thing with vaccines. Like, the white movement think is targeting them. Black folks think it's targeting them specifically, up and above everybody else. So it's like, yo, which one of y'all are the target? All right. So anyway, let's go back.
Every day in the hoods by zip code, it's there. They do that. You're talking about chemicals in the foods. They put that there. Over 70% of
Okay, you can't let that slide. The chemicals in the food, they put that there. They is the government, okay? My man, salt is a chemical, right? You don't eat sea salt. You don't use ketchup, and you put chemicals in your food. So these are natural words that are not necessarily harmful. Chemicals are not bad. Chemicals are great. we have the periodic element chemical chart, right? Chemicals they're here to stay. Oxygen is a chemical. You breathe in and exhale, you breathe out chemicals. So to say that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. They put chemicals in your food. I'm sure they do. Okay, I'm sure they do, especially when you're butchering animals, right? And they got to sit around in the freezer, and you got to make sure that no bacteria, chemicals.
Food supply has been injected with certain levels of estrogen chemicals.
Oh my God.
What does that do to a
That's
man?
why men have titties.
Come on now.
That's why men
Big
have
facts.
titties.
Come
yes.
on. I ain't trying to blow the speaker out, but come on.
Yes.
See, that's what I see. I
Yes.
feel it. You been, bro.
Yes.
Get on this.
Bruh.
I'm telling you, because that right there.
Yes.
Because now the sister's like, okay, you know what? So let's talk about.
Now, this show is called Big Facts. Okay, so again, man, listen, I would never subscribe to that show. Sway also had this fool on there spewing like anti-vaccine news, fake anti-science, some garbage, and he's never challenged. Look, the Kim Cho thing was just bought. He said it's a fact. Like we just read, a certain population, 19% believe it's somewhat true, 9% of the 36,000, whatever, believe is actually true. So, but this is what's hurting the Black community. Big platforms like this, and allowing guys like that on there. No scientist, no influencer, no what's my man's name? The rapper, the ex-rapper. Dang, he right on the tip of my tongue. The rapper who was debating this guy. Fiasco, Lupe Fiasco. He's not on here. Like, but this guy gets booked over and over for Black platforms.
These men's.
Yeah.
Because I know where you go. That's called,
how
that's called gynecomastia, by the way. Yes.
Go ahead. No, you just
No, that's what
Man boob.
So remember what his slogan, an organized lie defeats an unorganized truth every time. Ooh wee. That's it. I mean, that's what can be better than that phrase? That's perfect. This guy is organizing his lies so it comes out so fluently. And we know that from liars. Like when you talk to a relative or a friend or a stranger who's completely lying to you, and you know it, but they're good at it. Like when I go to the gym, we got so many liars in there that claim they played professional ball, they had a D1 scholarship. But I'm looking like, dude, I'm watching you play. You're trash. There's no way you made it anywhere, got any burn on any team. But these people will look you in the face with their organized lie and go in. And if you're not familiar with basketball and what talent really looks like, you're going to believe that foolishness.
man breast, right? Gynecomastia, man boobs. It comes from, you have multiple causes. A drug called Risperdal, a drug that's prescribed to a lot of males. One of the side effects or direct effects is man breasts. See, this is one of the things they inject you with. You don't even realize it. That's what it's coming from. Another thing with the soy and with the estrogen-like chemicals injected into the water and food supply, it is making men more effeminate because it is chemically destroying your testosterone levels. Men right now, we're at less than 50% of the testosterone levels than we used to be over 20 years ago.
I get it. That would turn these niggas to bitches. He just said it. I get it.
Now, who knows if that's true or not? I mean, how can you believe anything he's saying at this point? Like, now this is the same guy who was using VAERS on somebody's platform. Now he doesn't look. He'll get he'll get a tiny tad bit of respect back if he came on platforms and corrected himself. He was spewing VAERS information as though it was actual fact and confirmed. This guy on Sway Show spewing VAERS as though you can take VAERS seriously, as though this is a website, this is an automated system that's determined to decide something or give you evidence of something. VAERS is voicemail. Anybody can leave a message. Okay. Anyway, so when you're wrong that often and you don't make an attempt to correct yourself ever, that's an issue.
I get it now. I can't be mad the government did it. The government did it, bro, because it's like everybody, this shit crazy, man.
Big facts, bro.
So,
Big facts, bro.
Good God Almighty. I the whole time been wondering. It had to be something.
So the soy made them hoes. The soy made these niggas hoes, man.
They call them soy boys.
Nah.
It's
Hey,
bad, but it's real. It is real. So there's an evil hand in the middle of all of this. Is my point.
how you
Evil hand. Remember that language. That's what DJ Focus kept saying. Evil. Like, dude, what is that? Like, can we stop using religious terms to talk to regular people who's not really into religion like that? We just care about facts.
feel about like
Oh God.
the whole if a dude speak his mind about transgenders and all that,
Mhm.
and he get automatic counsel, how you feel about that?
Oh,
All right. Okay, listen, again. In this case, sometimes we get upset when you compare the women's suffrage movement or the feminist movement with Black people movement, or what we've been through basically, or the civil rights era. And when we compare the LGBTQ movement to the civil rights, we get upset because some of those comparisons are unfair, right? But all of them are not unfair. So in this case, what he's about to say is going to be a fair comparison when people do that, when people compare the civil rights movement to another movement, because they're just showing discrimination. That's all. They're not saying the exact, well, I don't know what they're saying. What I'm saying is that the exact events, of course, didn't happen, but there are similar things that's going on. So when people speak out against the LGBT community and their practices, your speech is disapproval. No different than if you ask a European white person in this country in the 50s, 60s, 70s about Black folks and their rights or to be somewhere or whatever, how do you feel about Black folks? It's going to be negative. It's going to be like disapproval. So that's the comparison, and this is why people who speak out against these communities are being held responsible or being silenced, because they're against all that type of stuff. Because when they let it pass for one person, it eventually goes to everybody.
Chappelle or something.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, first of all, one, we're supposed to have freedom of speech. Number two, if you free to go and push whatever it is that you believe, I should be able to push what I believe.
You hear that? Dude, right. Stop. The freedom of speech. Now, you got a freedom of speech, but there's also consequences that come with that. Like, you cannot say certain things without repercussions. That's all. So don't get mad. Like you said, you can say what you want to say. And look, I usually like all the videos I watch. I didn't like this one. And I usually like every video I watch. Even if I didn't appreciate it, I didn't like this one because I don't like what he got on here. He spews this fear-mongering, fake news, all this type stuff. There's never anything, there's never any solutions. He never gets on there and say, Black folks, I got a great plan. Just repeat some Dr. Claus stuff. Nothing. It's always doom and, dark and gloomy. Doomsday doctrine, always. The government's trying to kill you. There's nothing you can do about it. Just whine and complain like myself. As a matter of fact, do more than that. Come to the mosque and give us your money. And Allah is going to bless you, and he's going to curse the government.
Like, let's be clear here. These are women in this room. You mean to tell me that I automatically have to address you as one when they have had to fight to literally be the actual one that they are by nature? Hold up. Let's make this clear, because I know a lot of people argue about this. Another reason why a lot of people have debated me and you're not going to win this because it's logic and science. That ain't me. It's just the facts. Women are women because they have a womb. You ain't got that.
Let's get past that. I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
Human beings from the planet Earth. Black, white, and all in between, but Black folks and melanated people are the target number one. But they want to get rid of them. So how can you do this? We already
Okay, so they want to get rid of everybody. But Black people, melanated people across the world is number one, right? Okay.
Through food, through water, through reproductive services.
So food, water, reproductive services, I guess that's abortion. Abortions is definitely one of those, but he won't say condoms, like condoms too. But let's go.
To kill your own babies through abortion, getting you to kill yourself.
I told you. I just said it. Now, I never watched this before. This is the first time watching it with you guys. Okay, I got a class at 4 p.m. This is why I put this on right now. This is what I figure. I figure some people want something to do early in the day. I'm not doing chess today or tomorrow, all the way to next week. So I'm like, why not? And I didn't go to the gym again. So I'm like, you know what? Why not be, make somebody's day? And because a lot of times when I'm home and nothing to do, I don't want to watch TV, not like that. So I check YouTube, see who's live, see if pseudo killers or whoever's live, I check it out. You got people live right now, but I'm not interested in that subject. So that's why I went live. So you know what? Everybody not interested in the whole religious thing, debate. Some people just want to listen to like real stuff and, controversial real stuff and build on that. You dig? So he mentioned abortions. Then he said, kill their babies. See, now he just said science earlier. He just said science. And dude, that's not science. That's not a baby. You're not killing a baby scientifically. That's a debate right there.
And
don't forget, they believe on conception, it's a baby. Like, as soon as you realize you're pregnant, that's a baby. That is a human. Like, this is their position. And the Watcher, the brothers from UK, and we got a lot of UK people. I'm noticing that. You got, I think Richard is from there. Fitz, of course. So Pure Black, peace, and Flim Flam, peace. The Watcher, of course. So again, they believe once a woman's found out she's pregnant, that's a human life. And again, there's a debate, there's an argument against that's out there. So there is an argument for that Focus was mentioning. And again, it just really confuses me how they can take an argument, hook, line, sinker, and act like they don't know where they got it from. So now I know exactly where they got it from now. I know the person who wrote the article, and that's the anti-abortionist Bible. They stand by that. So there's a person named, I think his name was something Marquise last time. I can't remember the full name, but something Marquise. Something with a D, Marquise. So now there's a woman response to that. And it's actually called the defense or something like that against that argument. It's a good one. And I'll read it sometime.
Drugs, etc., and all of that. But damn, it's not working fast enough. Y'all still producing babies. What's going on? By the year 2042, the United States Census Bureau has said that the United States is going to be a majority brown country. The country was not taken to give it back.
Okay, so now you got to make up your mind. And this is the problem we had earlier that myself and Amber exposed. Okay, is it about numbers or it's not about numbers? So again, you have you have somebody made a great point either on the panel or in the chat. You got white extremists who believe the same thing. They believe that the white race are dwindling in numbers, and they believe numbers is everything. You know why they believe that? Because they actually fought in a war in this country, and in their mind, they lost because they didn't have a lot of numbers. So they believe numbers are everything. So on the flip side, you got black people who just take a white supremacist argument and apply it and just paint it black. They blackwash it. So we believe numbers are everything. But then we'll sit here and say the world is ran by the Illuminati, the Bilderberg, who are small in numbers, very tiny. 1%, they call them 2%. So I'm a little confused, like, wait. If numbers represents dominance, represents takeover, rebellion, whatever you want to phrase it, if that's true, then why are the 1% less in numbers don't want to recruit and they're so dominant? Like the logic, my brain about to blow up. At one point, you don't need numbers to rule the world and dominate and control everybody, mass populate, or mass depopulate. But then you need numbers. So we need to be 5 billion deep to go ahead and dethrone people who are numbered in the thousands. Like, I just can't get with that.
They didn't borrow the country. They took it. So
yeah, they say it was a shortage on white people. Huh?
Yeah, bro.
So that shit getting shot.
More white people are dying.
Real shit. I heard that. Like, so that shit
That's
getting
the
shot.
facts.
Yeah.
Oh, you from St. Croix? That's what's up, Flim Flam. But I wasn't talking about you from the UK. I'm talking about the brother. His actual name is Brothers UK, and I was naming other guys who come in the chat who are from the UK. Yeah.
That's the facts.
The colorless people are withering away.
Yeah, because we starting to turn the look, the dudes.
Is that eugenics? Yeah. Or the concept is eugenics. So now it's all about making everybody brown. And the colorless are dwindling away. Like, this is the foolishness. And and this is that, listen, waiting on that is like waiting for Jesus to come back. So now we are so powerless. We're so much of a coward that we got to wait until the colorless people just dwindle away before we actually get a grip on something. And guess what? If that was true, if the colorless people, quote unquote, dwindled away and brown people were left in this country to take over, you will have a whole bunch of Chicagos. That's all you will have. What remnants of evidence that anybody has seen in the Black community that we were left to our own devices, that all of a sudden it'll be Mecca over here, the Holy Land, milk and honey? Like, stop. Most Black neighborhoods ran by Black folks are horrible, filled with violence and drugs. Like, stop it.
Black men are starting to date white women, turn them kids black.
There you go, eugenics. Now, RIZZA, what's up with that?
Yeah.
So this shit turned into something else.
Yeah, see, eugenics. So, like Amber said, y'all ain't mad with eugenics. Y'all just mad with eugenics not favoring people turning Black as opposed to whatever.
And
come on,
the Black men fucking the Asians,
Yeah.
the Dominican, whatever you is,
The
we hear them.
Yeah.
So we hear them. This shit finna turn black, man. So these folks gotta figure something out.
That's big facts, bro. And that's again, but that's the real, and we have to understand again. This ain't no hatred. This is the facts. The United States Census Bureau is not ran by Black people. They came out and said, "This is what." Okay,
now here we go. Okay, dude. Okay, now here's the problem. He's allowed to go to the United States Bureau for evidence, right? And that now the research is trustworthy. Okay, because he believes it fits his narrative. When we decide to go to that same source and prove our points that might be against his, all of a sudden we got questioning numbers. Like, dude, that's nothing, dude. Either they're trustworthy or they're not. Do they tell on themselves? So according to this guy, the United States Bureau is telling on themselves. They're exposing themselves.
going on. By 2042,
Right.
America will become a majority brown country. White people are dying faster than they're being born, but Black people still reproducing, brown folks still reproducing. Quick. This is called the War of Genetic Annihilation, as Dr. Frances Cress Welsing stated in her book, The Ice.
Then he quotes Dr. Frances Cress Welsing book, The ISIS Papers, as though this was some old peer-reviewed book that scholars and this is facts. Come on, man.
Papers. She was right on it. And she said subconsciously, and it's not all white people who even think like this, but a lot of them know. The elites know.
Yeah.
They know. They projected
Yeah.
this, which is why they said we have to find a way to get rid of the men, get rid of the women, attack the children. We have to find a way to break up the family. We have to find a way to do this. They've been doing this for decades and really centuries. You're talking
Welfare.
about welfare. Oh, come on, remove the man from the come
Welfare.
on, sis. You're talking about all the way from
Welfare.
biblical times. When King Herod sent out the order to go and kill all boy babies 2 and under. Do you know what these shots do on the National Childhood Vaccine Shot Schedule? They inject you with over 72 doses of 16 shots before a certain age, before the age.
Okay, so now I believe this is called overload immunization, something like that. Okay, this is a talk. Listen, he's not even new. Yo, we have panelists who are more creative in their arguments, right, against immunizations, right? We have indigenous Black man who's more creative than this guy, RIZZA. And we have other people who come on here, Kachi. We got other people who come on here who shows their, disdain for vaccination, but they are more creative than this guy. This guy is repeating debunked foolishness. I mean, really, that's disrespectful to the American public and Black people specifically. He's repeating debunked information. Debunked. I mean, this is old stuff. Like, we got to blow off our brains, the dust off our brains to debate this right here. Anyway, in the chat, for everybody who's there, I pinned a link of my Facebook group. It's called Unbiased Research. So this is a way where we all can stay connected. It's not much chit chat going in there. Every so often people will post something interesting, you dig? I just posted something in there. I try to stay relevant, but it's really not for that. If you want it to be for that, cool. But it's really for us just to be amongst each other, stay together. So if something happens, right, we can communicate with each other there. Yes, something personal will happen at your home, caught on fire. You can post that in there and we all are aware of what's going on. Also, my YouTube channel stay getting deleted, and I'm not, it's no conspiracy. Sometimes I do violate certain rules and terms and conditions on YouTube, and they delete my account. Am I crying? No. So if that was the case, at least we're all together where I can share a link of the new YouTube channel. Real simple. Okay. Because for some reason, I'm not doing something right with the Fair Use Act. And where did it go? I had it on here.
8. A large percentage of these doses are injected into you between 12 to 15 months. That is by far the most dangerous time because the blood-brain barrier has not developed enough. So when you inject these children with these certain shots, the chemicals go straight up into.
He said, I learned about Bed-Stuy, watch Everybody Hates Chris. That's where you from? You from New York. Cool, I didn't know that. Cool, yeah, so we are kind of close. Like a lot of us, I think Anusha or Miss Tiffany is in New York. I think Miss Tiffany, New York. So we're actually not far from each other.
Brain and destroy the brain chemistry, hence autism, hence Asperger's, hence.
So hopefully, when this pandemic ever blows over and things going well for everybody, enough people, we could get up with each other and have it like a nice, I don't know, do something, a little dining hall, whatever, and we all just chop it up and chill.
Hence sudden infant death syndrome, all this stuff that goes on.
Wow.
It's a biblical thing all the way down.
You've been blocked for a whole year? God, yo, listen, bro. The only way that could happen, right? Your personality, you had to be debating. You must have been debating in like 15 different groups, and they all reported you. You said you've been blocked for about a year. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, listen, he's from California, Sacramento. All right, that's what's up. West Coast in the house. West Coast ballers seem to be better than East Coast ballers, man. Yep, Frank Nitty. I'm as far as street balling. Let me be correct, street balling. Frank Nitty, Hezzy God, White Iverson. It just looking like that. It's just looking like the West Coast balls are better. You dig? Facebook for old people. Here in DC. Okay. What they call that? What they call it? The DC, Maryland, and Virginia. The DMV, right? Hey, yeah, I was so confused when they were saying that, because DMV is like motor vehicles. So I'm like, why are they saying DMV? Like, I didn't get it. That was like an acronym. My man said he's been blocked from Facebook for almost a year. And to watch it, I got 3 accounts on Facebook. I got one where it's just for family and close friends. And that one, I don't use my name at all. It's a straight alias. Then I got Rondell Harrison, which is a mixture, family. Actually, it's really for like my internet friends, really. And people at the gym who are barely, ever going to chill with ever in life outside of basketball. And then I got Ron Harrison, that's really for people who know me personally and people who I build relationships with on Facebook. You dig? So I think I said that backwards. I think Rondell Harrison is for family, friends, and people who know me personally, right? And Ron Harrison is for my internet friends, everybody really. So Blue Devil said, yeah, send me those screenshots. Well, how you gonna send me screenshots to watch it? Your Facebook is down. Blue Devil said, I met RIZZA Islam at a Juneteenth convention in Carson, California. Okay, wait, so you from California too? Mongo said, what's crazy is that they not challenging nothing. He's saying, so that tells me they don't want to disrespect their guests. Right. But and this is why I love the Breakfast Club and platforms like that. And Joe Rogan, definitely Joe Rogan. Oh yeah, you definitely can't say anything on Joe Rogan. Now, he does invite a lot of pseudos, but Joe Rogan, from what I've been watching, he's definitely gonna challenge you. You know what I mean? So I love that about Joe Rogan. If you pull up on Joe Rogan's show, your information better be correct. I see him challenge pseudos and debunk their foolishness. So yeah, you might want to be tight. You get on Joe Rogan, but the Breakfast Club, to some degree, do a good job of certain interviews with certain people. I don't know RIZZA Islam, they might get them benefit out, but I know rappers, they don't really take light. They like really challenge them. And politicians, they really get them a hard time. Anusha, where are you from? What state? So let me look at it. So he said he looked that way because they played no defense. So it said, I seen the professor hoop in Salem, Oregon at the skate park before he was on. Really? He is pretty good, right, Pierre? So he said, Ron from Texas. Now, I'm not from Texas. Actually, I lived in Texas. And I like Texas better than New Jersey. I always wanted to go back when I was young. So that's why I got Texas, Dallas, Texas. You know. So Anusha said she's from Texas. What part of Texas? I know I'm asking too much. Oh, he said, okay. See, when you're from Texas, you can ask what part, because Texas, the city is so big. It's not like over here in Jersey. You say a city, you might run into me. You dig? In New York, you say Brooklyn, you might run into the Mongo. But Dallas, Texas is so big. Houston is so big. You could say Dallas, you could say Texas, and you probably would never see that person, ever. I got a spot in LA, Crenshaw, to be there. That's what's up, man. Joe Rogan was taking Ivermectin. Now, Joe Rogan is definitely pseudo. He's definitely pseudo. And he's a conspiracy theorist. He's into Air 51. But what I like about him is that he's like Taharka Bey. Taharka Bey is in the Moors doctrine, right? And most of us don't agree with it. Or some of us don't. A few of us don't. Don't matter the number. But Taharka Bey isn't going to let another person just say anything about the Moors doctrine just because they call himself a Moor. He's going to check them. He's going to correct them. And he's going to expose them. So what I know of Joe Rogan, the little bit I know of him, he does the same thing. He's into the pseudo conspiracy theory, but he's not going to let a conspiracy theorist just say any old thing. He's going to check them. So she said, yes, I've never been to the South Side. I told you. I lived in Dallas, Texas. I've been to 2 different elementary schools, and both of them, you could ask another person in another part of Texas, and they won't hear. They probably never heard of both of my elementary schools. So I know one stands out the most. I remember because of school song. So Anusha, I went to Russell Elementary School. I know that name forever because of the school song. So school songs might be a good thing, actually. The other elementary school, I can't remember. I can't tell you at all. I don't know how I'm gonna find out. But the Russell School one, the school song. We think of a school as a friend. We love you. I love you. The Russell School. You dig? So that's part of the song. Anything else before I press play? If you know about LA, hoods and good neighborhoods go from the street to block the street. I live in a nice neighborhood. Okay, go from hoods from the street to block the street. All right, so now I'm gonna play some more of this foolishness, this fear mongering that Black folks just love. We love. I was on the phone with DJ Focus earlier, right? Now we're just having, like, when he called me, we tend not. It's not supposed to be a debate. We're supposed to be just sharing thoughts and opinions, but he cannot just control himself. It just has to be a debate. and he has to, and we supposed to not bring up talking points from the show. I don't want, hey, look, if you guys call me on the phone, I don't want to talk about Margaret Sanger. Like if Digits ever was to ever call me, I'm going to make sure we talk about something outside what's on the show. You dig? I don't want to talk about vaccines if you call me. So when I talk to the watcher on the phone, we don't talk about none of that. And when I talk to we talk about some of that. That's because somebody is relevant like that. Like that's actually the subject. Like it's a trending topic. But I talk to Double X. We don't talk about none of that. Me and Double X talk about boxing and things like that. And he's always right. He's never wrong. I can't comprehend English. He can. You know, that's where it goes with him. But DJ Focus, he brings it back to Margaret Sanger. And I'm like, dude, we don't, because we're not going to agree, dude. So he hangs up. So he says this. So he says he showed the Margaret Sanger letter. I'm like, yeah, you did. And it didn't show nothing bad in there. Nothing remotely close to what you said. I said, if you think it did, we can pull it up again. He mentioned a few more things. And he said, eugenics thing. He said, I exposed how she met with the KKK. I said, okay, Elijah Muhammad met with the KKK. What? And what? He said, no, he didn't. I said, are you sure? Remember, this is what you believe in. Are you sure he never met with the KKK? Are you sure? So he had me on speakerphone, by the way, trying to embarrass me in his barbershop. So when I exposed that Elijah Muhammad met with the KKK, he didn't take that lightly. So he hung up on me and he said, don't text him again. So he's mad at me. So Kim Powder is found guilty first and second. She was guilty of first and second degree manslaughter. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and say you try to make South Central sound like a happy place. Let me play some of this garbage.
Spiritual warfare.
Again, I never watched this before. I'm watching it with you. This is the best reaction when we both hear it for the first time. So I have no idea. I can assume what he's going to say, but I have no idea what he's going to say.
Anything else. This is why a lot of us don't have the ability to even face how evil this is. We gotta drink, we gotta smoke to get ourselves to get away from it.
Real
Like,
shit.
I can't face this. It's hard.
Big facts.
It's hard, but we gotta look at it now. That's the facts. So the elites know. They know so well that they put in place all the different plans in every area of life to go towards the agenda of getting rid of human beings. And that's
God, yo, look how powerful the elites are. They could do that across the world. And you think, I mean, they're that diabolical and they're that evil. And my man feels comfortable enough to go on a radio station that got 500,000 views and expose them and feel comfortable enough to go home like nothing's going to happen to him. That's how comfortable he is. This powerful beast, this powerful devil is so powerful. It's trying to kill human beings. The plan is legit. It can't be stopped. There's nothing he can do about it. But he feels so comfortable to come on airways and expose this beast plan to stop them, in attempts to stop them. And he's so fearless to go home as though nothing will happen to him. That's a brave man. And that's what he's trying to portray.
But it is. They are a part of the agenda. Why is it that I'm going to convince a people that it is better and more advantageous to turn in on themselves, men with men, women with women? What's the product? No children. I have encouraged you to depopulate yourself by way of no procreation. That's it.
There we go with the depopulation agenda, the conspiracy. Again, in Africa and other places, they have a lot of kids because the kids die. Like if you look at Nigeria, if you look at how many kids die from malaria yearly, I mean, the number is astronomical. You won't even believe it. Like, really. Matter of fact, I'll do the research for you. I will pull it up how many kids. Well, thanks to Bill Gates, that number went down into one that died from malaria. But Bill Gates the devil, though. But now, that's my thing again. We know for a fact that so many Nigerians and Africans, period, kids die from malaria a large number I'm going to show you. If Bill Gates is the devil and he has an agenda, I mean, goddamn, he goes to Africa with his efforts. He helps he creates malaria, helped build malaria nets and all type of different vaccines. And the numbers went down from a large number to a very, very tiny, minute number. But he's a globalist, he's a depopulationist. That wouldn't fit his agenda. That would go contrary to his, that's counterproductive. But
evil. That's evil. Now again, the people involved may not be evil. They are family. Just don't get it twisted. Minister Farrakhan say we love our family. You gay shit, whatever. But I can't condemn you when my brother over here, a straight up masculine, straight black man, just killed another one. Hold up. Hold up. Like, let's be clear. I can't be pointing in, oh, we got to be real. But at the same time, look at how the enemy is using both of us. Look how they doing it. What's they plan with this? If I don't procreate, our future won't exist. This ain't got nothing to do with emotion. Come up out of your emotions for a minute. Get up out of that.
Pause it for 1 second so I can look up this thing. Okay. All right. Okay, so let me go ahead and. All right, so let me switch screens real quick. Okay. All right, so despite progress, 1,500 African children die daily from malaria. Look at this number. I told you, you're going to see. Okay. Malaria still kills 660,000 people every year, most of them African children. Insecticide treatment bed nets are critical to eliminating death from malaria. What? What is critical? Insecticide treated bed nets. I wonder who's responsible for them. Now go look at Bill Gates' efforts in producing these insecticide treated bed nets. Okay. Now, almost 1 million people die, almost damn near kids die from malaria every year. Why would Bill Gates try to stop that from happening? You got to tell me that he's creating more mosquitoes out there. You dig? Not getting rid of them or stopping the infections. Okay, so let me go ahead and click this. Let me see what's going on here. In 2004, 5.6 million bed nets. Look, in 2004, 5.6 million bed nets in sub-Saharan Africa. Okay. Recently, limiting competition among producers meant, so this competition to build bed nets meant that they were too expensive to scale up. By 2010, this number had increased to 154 million thanks to bulk buying, joint procurement, better financing, and extending manufacturing capacity into Africa. See, this is the information RIZZA Islam is never going to, mention, repeat, parrot. In 2010, 6 years later, instead of 5.6 million bed nets, 145 million. Since 2000, 1.1 million lives have been saved from malaria, and malaria mortality rates in Africa have declined by 1/3. So if it was about global population killing people off, no kids, no procreation, what's the effort? Why are they saving 1.1 million? Come on. This is goofy conspiracy talk, man. Now, I'm going to research Bill Gates' efforts in this. Okay, you ready? The conspiracy theory is retarded. Now, how do I know this? Because during the height of the pandemic, I was playing a lot of the charitable efforts that Bill Gates was doing in Africa way back then. And a matter of fact, that video is still up because that channel didn't get terminated. So I had two unbiased sports. I had one where I used to air live broadcasts from like different states, governors, right? What they was doing with the pandemic, like not solutions, but as far as stimulus checks and different things states was doing for the people, countering the mask mandates. You know, I was doing that every morning, right? And that channel, those videos, I deleted those videos because I didn't want to get struck, but that channel is still up. Okay, so anyway, Seattle. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation today announced 3 grants totaling $258.3 million for advanced development of a malaria vaccine, new drugs, and innovative mosquito control methods to help defeat malaria, a disease that kills 2,000 African children every day. Okay? So again, stop with your lies of global population. Why? Stop it. All right, let's go back.
Our lineage can't live.
We can't exist. So again, we're not attacking again. We ain't attacking our family, you know, and forget the cancel culture. That's just the facts.
Yeah.
Because you know how many gay folks show up to my events? Tons of them.
Zero.
Thank you for speaking the truth. They love it. I'm talking about I'm talking about the butch of the butch hugging me, brother. I love you, bro. I'm like, sister. yeah, you know. I'm like, okay, come on in. For real, because you know, a lot of sisters, they want to be able to just embrace without being hurt. You know, they want that same thing with a lot of the brothers. They're effeminate.
Let me go ahead and skip past that a little bit. I have no idea where he's going. Don't like it.
They make money, like I said, they have control and power to manipulate and do all that. Oh, they control their community guidelines. Well, what's their community? I ain't trying to be a part of your community. That's why I done got taken off Instagram 6 times. I'm on my 7th page.
Yo, why do we think because you get booted from a platform, social media platform, that it's because the government want to silence you? Like I said, the watcher, like, do you think you were targeted? Do you think you did nothing wrong, like said nothing and nothing controversial? You don't think anybody reported you because their feelings were hurt for something you typed and Facebook just blocked you? Do you believe that? Like, what do you think? What do you think was the action that they believe you have done to boot you off Facebook or block you? You dig? I got blocked on Facebook one time. I was in Facebook jail one time because I called a black dude. I said the nigga word to a black dude in a conversation, in a debate. I kicked his butt on vaccines and I said nigga, and the dude reported me. Black dude reported me, and I got in jail for that. I was put in jail for that. Okay. He said you get booted from spreading misinformation too. Pseudo RIZZA going, yeah. Country. High five. A lot of people don't know about that. A lot of people don't know. His mom is definitely done. His mom is gone, 100%. Ain't no saving her. Y'all need to go to Pocket Watcher. Go subscribe to JT the Pocket Watcher, please. If you guys love facts, if you love sourcing up and exposing pseudos, scammers, go to JT the Pocket Watcher and subscribe to his channel. You're going to be hurt for certain influencers that you might have liked, that you might have supported and shared their videos. You're going to be upset how they are scamming as well. He said CIA, FBI, cheeseburger group, Humane Society. That cringe when it's okay. So let me go back. Mongo says, that's why they don't ban you 6 times. Why go back? Right. He was pseudo ass on IG, right? If you're being banned, you put me on JT Pierre. Oh yeah. So that was a good look. Man, I enjoyed. Man, I was so upset at JT when he exposed my boy Jay Morrison. I was like, oh no, not Jay Morrison, no. But it was all facts. It was all evidence. It was all public record. Nothing he said it was all the truth. I mean, it was, embarrassing for Jay Morrison, and I was upset. I was hurt. They brought shame to the NOI. Right. Exactly.
Because I'm not going to stop speaking the truth. Again, I'm not foolish, but I'm also on another platform, so that we can continue this, moving. Because again, if you want to be a part of somebody's team and a group, if that's what they're about and you ain't about that no more, then maybe you should go and do your own thing. And that's what we were more successful in as Black people. We had over 60 all Black towns. Tulsa wasn't the only flourishing town we had. We had over 60.
Now we're going back to segregation, right? Now he would disagree. No, actually, he would agree with it. They said that he believed in separate. He's a separatist, so this is why he goes back to segregation. Dude,
the all Black towns, thriving.
Fast forward some of this.
Movements in different areas, from the boroughs in New York all the way to the different hoods in Watts, LA, etc. After 1995. This sparked so many revolutionary movements all throughout the world, not just in America, because other leaders from other parts of the world saw that and reached out to Minister Farrakhan and said, we need you here. Not only Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, may Allah be pleased with him, over Libya, but all the different leaders said, we saw what Allah the Most High allowed you to do. Bringing over, you're talking about nearly 2 million Black people in the
He's talking about the damn Million Man March. Man, my God. DMX, somebody showed me a concert DMX did. And it's supposed to be the largest concert, I don't know, in hip hop history. I don't know. But DMX brought, what does that mean? When you bring that many people and had no real plan for them. So according to this guy, you brought 2 million people or close to one location, and your leader was the core speaker. What is the excuse now? Something should be up and running.
Right.
To DC.
Right.
On a Monday.
Right.
Bruh.
Right. In peace. Yeah.
You seeing people there that was.
His real name is Ronnie? I didn't catch that part. His name is this guy. No, his name can't be Ronnie. Please, let that not be true. No.
That was your enemies. People stepping on each other's shoes and they're like, oh, my brother, my apology. I'm sorry about that, brother.
Right.
You talking about people who normally on a regular day will be at each other's.
Yeah, that was shameful when he sourced up all these athletes and entertainers, and people was coming at Jay Morrison. And Jay Morrison looked at it as, oh, no, it's just a bad business deal. No, my man, it's just a bad idea from the start. Because I'm sure when you hustled them, when you solicited their business, right, their money to fund your idea, I'm sure when it flopped, their business endeavor, I'm sure when it flopped, I'm sure you made sure you got out of it what you wanted to get out of it. And that entertainer, that athlete, that whoever it was, didn't get out of it what they were supposed to get out of it. You gained and they took a loss. And that's what happened with that endeavor.
Like, bro, what's happening? No, brother, no. Yes, sir. Peace, brother, peace. And guess what? It was for atonement, reconciliation. It was for us to come together to apologize to God for us not being men.
Are you serious?
It's deep, bro.
So the Million Man March was a religious gathering. He just said it.
It was for us to come together and realize, man, yes, the government got a hand in destroying us. Yes, and they will always have that hand because that's their agenda. That's what they do. This is,
Yeah, but you got 2 million people together and y'all can't do nothing about that agenda. Like, so what's the point? I'm trying to tell DJ Focus, what's the point of complaining if you are powerless? Just keep praying to your God, Jesus, Allah, whoever, and one day they will save you.
Understand the nature of a thing. Okay, you know how to deal with it. That's
Right.
what you do. So let me just stop complaining for a second because you've always been this way. But we also had to come together and say, nah, some of us did do the things we did. Some of us did attack our people. Yeah, I did. I did kill this brother. I did abuse this sister. I did manipulate this group of children. Like we got our hand in some of this stuff too. So that was the accountable side of it, was to come together to reconcile.
Right. I'm not using that excuse. You got 2 million people together to reconcile. Stop it. Gangs and violence is worse now. Stop it. Ain't nobody atoning. Stop this. No peaceful. Stop it. No peaceful resolution.
Wouldn't have made it to the first step.
Oh God.
They would have tried to mow us down with all the guns, all the weapons. These terrorists, bro, they would have went crazy. You know how it is.
Even if y'all had walked up peacefully.
Okay, as you know,
More Capitol Hill. All right, whatever.
mentality didn't die when he did.
Right.
It's still up in there. Negro unity. Black people being united means less money for the government. Black people being united means less authority for them, less land they'll own because we'll own it.
Hey, yeah, look at her fake interested stare that she got on RIZZA. Like he's just. Look how she's looking at him. Like just every word is just precious.
Less drugs they can sell because we'll be healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's a conflict of interest here. It's bad for business. We're bad for business. Unity.
Less money that they'll get because the jails won't be as full.
Less jails. Come on, you can look at every single area. They are relying on us to keep their
Right. He gonna change it up. Sosa. It was about social justice. It was justice or else, right? So the or else was never spelled out. So I guess the or else was the atonement. Black folks just goofy, just
system living. If their system is living, it is because we're dying. But if we start living, their system will die. We have to understand how important it is for us to come together and unite. So that's why any group, any individual, any rapper, any.
All right. So if you wasn't here earlier, I had played a video. It's on my channel still. You should go watch it. It's about 50 minutes if you catch it from the start. It's a little longer because I wasn't airing it at first. I had some audio issues. The sound's a little low, but you can hear. But you should watch that video because it's called The American Government or The American Constitution 101, something like that. But 101 is in the title. It's my latest video. You should watch that because that's going to give you context for why Black people believe like him. Their arguments are borrowed from angry white Confederate sympathizers. Real quick, when this country was where it was, right? The America, it was ran by the states. They had a federal government, they had a government, but the states had the most power. At some point, the government realized that and said, you know what? The states got too much power. We got to take power from them and put it in the government. The states disagreed. And the states were also mad that the government wanted to end slavery. Okay? So the states became the Confederate States. Before then, they were all over the place. As I explained before, there was different currencies in different states. And what was valuable in California probably wasn't as valuable in Texas. It wasn't one, nation monetary system. Okay. It's kind of like the different countries now. That was going on. So the government also said, from the recession, we need one national dollar. And that's how that happened. You dig? I know that from my financial books that I was reading. Interesting stuff. But anyway, the Confederate States did not want the government to have more power than themselves, so they had a war. They lost. The Union won, and then the Union said the federal government is going to have the reigning powers, be more supreme. And then you had dual federalism. Then gradually, throughout the 1930s, the recession, different events, Congress was giving the government more and more power over the states. The Confederate sympathizers had a problem with that. They wanted more. They wanted to have equal power, not more power. So they've been butthurt ever since. Okay. So now they have to prove that the government is a bunch of tyrants. It's an entity that want to kill you, depopulate. And when they say that, they're talking about themselves. They think the government wants to shut them up. They think the government wants to harm and control them, chip their brains, so they won't have the freedom to expose the government any longer. Black folks then took that and said, hey, what we think is us they want. So that's where we're at now. So a lot of the rhetoric, the fake news about the government, the Area 51, it stems from these crazy, delusional Confederate sympathizers. And Black folks just stole that argument and painted it black. All right. So I caught you up to speed in a few moments. Here you go.
singer, dancer, artist, leader, whatever, comes out with the idea to even unite is a threat. It's a problem. Yes, these
He said we love a fast talking blackologist.
are terrorists because they're making us afraid, not black folks.
Yeah.
Right.
Them.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what they're talking about? That's when I went to China, I asked them, why do you call it the States? 2012. I said, what do you mean the States? They said, you're from the States. I was like, what States? They said, America. I said, yeah, I'm from the United States. They was like, no, not the United States, the States. I said, why do you call it the States? They said, you're not united.
Facts. Big facts.
No Chinese man told me that. I was like, damn, that hurt my heart. I was like, yeah, that's true. So we don't realize.
See, the talking points come from people who hate either the United States or the American government. That's true. It is the states. They're not united. Wow.
We're the only ones, meaning people in America, who see America like she portrays herself to be. Everybody outside of this country knows the truth.
They feel like we terrorists.
Absolutely. You come and kill my people.
They, of course, they're gonna think that. Every country think, the country they warring with, or they got problems with, is the bad guy. Now, again, if you missed the message, go to the pinned message in the chat. There's a pinned message. If you're on Facebook, click that link, join the group, so you can be privy to anything that we post in the group, and more importantly, so we can be on one accord on which YouTube channel we're using, because they get terminated for whatever reason they want to terminate. Most of the time, I'm violating some type of term or condition. So if a channel gets shut down, I could easily just post the link in the group, and it'd be easy for you guys to find me. Otherwise, you won't know where I'm at. Okay. And a lot of people came on this channel. They found my channel through pure luck, pure serendipity, right? And you won't be that lucky next time.
Bomb this, you kill my mama, you kill my daughter, and you calling us terrorists? You calling us terrorists? I was in my house eating food. I was in my house praying. And you come and just kill us for no reason. You say we're terrorists? No, you the terrorists. That's why, and then they try to demonize it and say, these are terrorists. No, bro, you caused that. So again, no, it's...
So basically, you feel like I'm just asking.
No, go ahead. No, please.
I'm gonna fast forward some of this. And again, in the group, I'm Ron Harrison, right? That's my name, Ron Harrison. That's my name in the group.
Feel like when we do see some.
If y'all don't knock it again, we being pimped. You being played. With
Y'all mad at me? Come buy scraps,
bruh. Hey, like I'm not you. I'm not no American. I'm Korean. Like they really, and I respect that. Same thing with the Chinese when it comes to them standing on. And you about to start studying a whole lot more history, bro.
No.
You gonna be like Americans, bro. They got their foot in every place. What y'all over here doing this, bro? We gonna talk.
But if they doing it, they need to go on and do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't put us
like,
in harm's
just
way.
don't put. I got you. I understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be trying to do it.
Those who hate America, the majority of them have a valid reason why they dislike this country. And it's not they dislike us,
right?
Everybody in America. It is the government. We got to separate ourselves when it comes to this, because we don't follow what this government does. Like we don't write the policies.
I told you, the government. All right.
That's them. We have to correct our government. That's what the people have to do. We are the government, really. If we come together and say, listen, y'all need to cut that out, knock it off.
Yeah. He just said if we come together. So there we go. We got the solution at 1 hour into the video. We finally got a solution. This is the unification talk. Unity. If we come together and say stop it, what?
Because you messing it up for us and our children and our families. And no, that's not what we about. We don't believe in that. You do. You got this insatiable thirst for power and dominance and gold and oil and hey, cut that out, bro. Knock it off. That's how you know it ain't us. Because you ain't never been in no plane and went over there and did that. So it's not us. But yeah, bro, I get you on that. I get you just like, let's just don't mess up my livelihood.
Know what I'm saying? If they'd already done messed it up.
Right. Have all of that. However, in America, we are behind enemy lines. We are in Satan's house. There is a difference when it comes to how our culture operates in the understanding of what Islam is from the original of them. So that's pretty much what that is. The basic difference. The 5% Nation of Gods and Earths was founded by Brother Clarence 13X Muhammad, who was an FOI in the Nation of Islam. He was a member of the Nation of Islam, who basically, was like, well, if the brothers and the sisters don't want to necessarily come into the military structure, which is the fruit of Islam, that's the military men that you see in Nation of Islam, or the MGT, which is the Muslim girls training, or the sisters, if they don't want to come into the military, but they want the knowledge, they deserve to have the knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a beautiful thing. So he would go out, shoot dice with them, you know, drink with them a little bit, hey,
But
whatever.
he says
Because we do deserve the knowledge. Our people deserve that. It's just the Nation of Islam has a actual military structure where we have, you know, captains, first officers, lieutenants, etc.
Let me explain that military structure. The Nation of Islam do not believe in any weapons as much as a penknife. Okay. So that means they are worse than the British military police or the British police. They're worse than them. They got a club. The Nation of Islam don't believe a weapon as much as a penknife. They believe be disarmed. Don't have any weapons. But then they have a beef against the turn your other cheek demonstration. If you don't have a weapon, in this day and age where weapons control everything, then you are really a supporter of turning the other cheek. Okay?
And so you're in a military structure. That's
business structure as well, community structure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Community structure,
Y'all
you know,
create jobs.
Side, the medical side, education. Yeah, you know, we got a lot of jobs. We have independent.
They sing in house, but no plan, lead the country. I'm trying to tell you, man. And then, like my boy, I'm in this chat of pseudos, phone chat of pseudos. Same thing. America government, there's no justice, and you can go other places, but they won't leave. And now they'll go visit other places. They'll say they're nice on vacations, whatever. But then they're afraid to leave, like Sosa said, they're afraid to leave Satan's house. They say our government is top nothing when you want to compare governments. We're at the bottom of the list. But they won't go live somewhere else with a better reported government. They won't do it. They want to stay in Satan's house. But then they argue with me when I say we got the best government in the world. Like, I live by my belief. I'm here and I don't plan on leaving. If I thought our government was worse than somebody else's, if I truly believe that, then I would be planning an exodus. See, I'm not going to believe something and not act on it.
Fools, we have our farms. I mean, bro, you know, so yeah, that's a small difference. But, you know, really in our eyes, it's all family. You know, we just got to cut out the little arguments. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan said we should argue over religion after we're free. We ain't got nothing to argue about right now. Like, what are you doing? Let's just get free, and then after we get all of our stuff, then we can start, you know, yeah, so what's up?
Right.
You know.
I just watched the Netflix shit with Malcolm X, and it was called Brother Malcolm X
and Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali. Yeah.
One night only or something.
What's yeah?
Blood Brothers.
Blood Brothers. Yeah. What's the facts behind Malcolm X and the Nation?
Oh, yeah.
Split? Like, what was the root of that shit? Like, how did it start? What happened? Like, what was it?
Oh, yeah, well, there's a whole lot in there, but I just say number one, government infiltration. Let's make this very clear. Most people don't know that, first of all, Malcolm tried to come back to the nation. Let's make this very clear.
Okay, now that's a lie. All right. Well, okay. I spoke too soon. It's a lie if he's saying before Malcolm X was assassinated. That's a lie. I even heard Sarnetta say on his live yesterday. All right. So there's this lie that's stating that Malcolm X tried to come back to the nation because they have an audio of him asking to come back. Okay. The audio, I just want to know the date. See, the date of the audio was settle everything. If that date is around the 60s, the early 60s, you know, before he's assassinated, then they got it. I will no longer argue that Malcolm tried to come back. I know that Malcolm continuously, if you watch The Godfather of Harlem, you'll see that Malcolm stayed in trouble for trying to be active, right, in the community, joining protests, joining other Christians. And he was always in trouble because he was very active, and his charge against Elijah Muhammad, that Elijah Muhammad was passive. He's more religious, more of praying about solutions. Malcolm X was more trying to get the fruit out there and be the solution. Elijah Muhammad didn't approve of that. He didn't want them joining like the Christian church. They had a big, if you read the message to the black man or any works of Elijah Muhammad, they were totally against Christianity. They went the other way. Whatever way Christianity went, they purposely went the other way. So if the Christians march and protest, you don't do that. But then we can march on Washington, D.C. It's like weird. But yeah, just find me the date of the audio, which they can't do, which they won't do, and it's not out there. Because I guarantee you, that was Malcolm X trying to get back from some other small charge. When Malcolm X went his way, when he joined Dr. Henry Clark, when he started learning, when he started making charges that Nation of Islam don't teach a black doctrine, they're not active, they're passive, they don't want to do nothing, they never big up Africa. When he went that route, he was not going back. He believed that, and that's the truth. The Nation of Islam do not big up Africa. Matter of fact, they encourage their members to not do anything African related. Go ask any member, go ask Rob Warren, go ask whoever, they're going to say it's true. Okay. The Nation of Islam, their leader said, don't do anything African. You can wear Islamic Arabia clothing articles, but don't you dare wear some African garments. That was openly taught by Elijah Muhammad. Okay. So all that stuff, Malcolm disagreed with, and he'll never go back. And also the kid thing, right? The wives thing with the children. Malcolm X had a problem with the age disparity between Elijah and the women. Although they might have been legal, 1920, you're 65, you're abusing your power, man. What do you want with a 20-year-old? There's some bad, I'm 44, there's some bad 44-year-old. Look at these dating apps. They look gorgeous. Vivica Fox is up there. You got all those bad Halle Berry, but you want a 20-year-old. You're abusing, no 20-year-old on a regular will be looking at a 65-year-old sick man with bronchitis like, yeah, I need that. No, they won't do that. The only way an older man could get like a 20-year-old, most times, you're going to need to flex some money or some power. They're not looking at you. They're looking at young dudes. They're looking at NBA young boy. You dig? So Malcolm X had a problem with that. He's abusing his power. Most cult leaders have a problem with young women. That's the history. Then Elijah Muhammad taught, we are the Muslims of the West. We're not of the East in ideology, meaning that we, although we believe in polygamy, we don't practice it because our people are not mentally ready. Okay, that means men and women. So we're going to practice monogamy until a time. Okay, years later. I mean, where's that time? The Bible says time, and time is always 100,000 years later. Then he's having a secret polygamous relationship that your main guy is unaware of. So Elijah Muhammad's son told Malcolm X, put Malcolm X on game about the secret polygamous relationship he has with these young women, 20-year-olds, who's supposed to not be ready for a polygamous relationship, according to the leader. So of course, that's going to be a big thing. Like, yo, what happened? Y'all thought I was told I couldn't do it. You can do it. But let us know you can do it before we join, because we might not agree with that. We might not agree with only you can have these hundreds of kids, Malachi, Dwight, York, but we can't. Maybe I won't. Maybe that's my deciding factor not to join that. Okay, so again, so that was Malcolm X issue. No way he was coming back from, he started his own movement. He was not coming back. He was assassinated. Produce the date to the audio and we'll talk.
He wasn't put out for more than a year. It was less than a year he was out. And you can't necessarily say really, he wasn't technically put out, just so you know. There are certain rules we have, just like in any group and organization. There are certain rules, all right.
Of course, the tape is before the assassination, but I challenged him. There's no audio of him wanting to get back after all that controversy, after he hooked up with Professor James Small, after he hooked up with Dr. John Henry Clark, definitely Dr. John Henry Clark. He definitely wasn't going back. But yeah, and then his own speeches and what he put out, there was no sign of him ever going back. He was, I can show you guys videos and videos and videos of him exposing the Nation of Islam doctrine, how anti-African it is, and just going and showing how they taught nappy hair was ugly and big nose. That's what why would he go back to that? Then he would truly be a hypocrite. Like, stop it.
Violate this rule, okay, you can't speak here for now, a couple days, et cetera. Boom. That,
like punishment or suspension or something like that.
Yes, more so suspension because you violated a certain rule, et cetera. And that's in every group and organization. That's just the rule. So, again, this government used Malcolm to turn the people against the Nation of Islam after he was assassinated. Because now
again, Malcolm X is so bright, but he's so dumb that he doesn't know the American government is using him to go against his leader. Like, stop it. Stop it. Now, I'm sure that, again, they say the American government, like, so there's one racist white person, but I'm sure people with their own agenda had took advantage of that split and inflamed it, right? And spread gossip on both sides. I'm sure that there was some outside influence to stir the beef up even more. But don't sit there and say that Malcolm was used, but Elijah wasn't. They both were used, okay? The American government used both of them to inflame the split even more and bring the tensions higher. Okay, stop it.
And make it seem as though they love Malcolm when the same damn newspapers who try to prop him up now were happy when he was assassinated.
I'm glad you said that. Your newspapers show Malcolm X's head rolling down the street. Your newspapers, that Muhammad speaks that Malcolm X put together. They had an article of Malcolm X's head rolling down the street, and they called him a hypocrite in the cartoon. So your newspapers and the other newspapers, okay, yep, was on one accord when it came to Malcolm X assassination.
They were bragging on TV about him being murdered. They was happy. So let's make it very clear. But the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the one who resurrected Malcolm. He used to be Malcolm Little. He's involved in all that with the whole life, the drugs and all that. Boom. Came into the nation, was cleaned up. This is what we do. This is what the teachings do.
Okay, sure.
Clean you up. Who are your number one defense? Facts only. So they say, go ahead and hate your brothers. The ones who you see all the time in the community. The ones who are doing all this work, the ones that that is stuff. You gonna sit here and tell me to turn on my own people because you don't like this and you don't kill. God wills it. If he wants it to happen, it'll happen. If he don't, he don't. And I'm cool with it either way.
Before we get out of here, I want to ask you, so what you think, what's the step if somebody want to just say, like, I want to get closer to the nation, not just being a Muslim, I want to get closer to the nation. What do they do?
So let me just make sure
Hey!
We're going over. That was verified. They admitted that, yes, he lied when he said that there was no funding of gain of function research, which is the research that goes towards helping to get animal DNA to splice it with human DNA.
Oh my God.
They're very particular. There's a lot of science that goes into that, but that is absolutely verified. They admitted it. Yes, the United States government collaborated with Wuhan, China. Money was sent over, funded. Certain researchers collaborated from America and China together to push this. That's a fact. Number two, the ultimate agenda that we have to understand above all else is depopulation. Now,
all right, stop.
People are like, well, wait a minute. You telling me they want to just kill all these?
All right, stop. So the American government with China, right, were in one accord to produce a COVID-19 virus, right? Or, okay, SARS-CoV-2 virus. Got it. Okay, so now watch this logic. So the United States government, along with China's lab scientists, came together secretly to create a SARS-CoV-2 virus, right? To further depopulate the world. Now, they don't want to bring back smallpox. Smallpox can do a hell of a job. They don't want to bring back okay, we gotta make our mind up, because then they would say that SARS-CoV-2 don't kill anybody. It's like, wait a minute, they say it's not deadly. So that's a poor attempt from our government. Is stupid to go produce a virus that don't have a high kill rate to depopulate the world. We got Ebola, we got stronger, smallpox would do a hell of a job. We could bring back polio, but we want to get weak old flu-like SARS-CoV-2. Then if that's true, then the vaccines are useful. So why would you, if you believe that the American government and the China's Wuhan scientists collaborated to produce a virus to kill the world, to depopulate the world, why would you then say don't get vaccinated? Unless you're saying that the vaccinations makes the virus more deadly. And
Look at that, folk. Right now, it's not just black people that they're coming after, because that's what some people think is what we're talking about. No, it is all human beings who are standing up against an oppressive system. we really have to get over the reality thinking that we post-racial, that evil don't exist, everybody is cool, we can all hang out with each other, everything is all good. No, there is a small group of very evil, wicked people at the top who do not want to see a large percentage of human beings on this planet. They refer to us as useless eaters. There is a document called the National Security Study Memorandum 200, which was written by Dr. Henry Kissinger, who was the 32nd Secretary of State under President Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford, where he stated, quote, depopulation should be the highest priority of U.S. foreign policy towards the third world, end quote. That was for other countries, but it was also for a domestic policy as well. Attack them through air, attack them through water, attack them through agriculture.
So now I don't know that quote, but the evidence that he brings, attack them through air, like, dude, come on.
Meaning food, attack them through reproductive services, Planned Parenthood, etc. Get their numbers down.
Because we're afraid that they're going to be more numerous than they are right now. We are 1% of the world. We have complete control of everybody. We can dictate who lives, who dies, who gets justice, who don't get justice. We can do all these great things. We could decide who's rich, who's poor, destroy economies. We can do all these things, but we're afraid of more numbers. This small, tiny group is not afraid of world governments coming together or world people coming together and warring with them. Small, tiny group. But now they're afraid, well, you know what? If black folks double in size, somehow they're going to be a threat. No, they have no power. They have no nuclear weapon. They have no chemtrails, none of this shit. They can't poison waters. They can't do none of this stuff. But somehow, because they double in size, that they can now cause a threat to our agenda. Stop it.
In any way possible, they have been doing it. They're very successful, but they're not done. And because it's not working fast enough, they're like, well, look, check this out. We need to just go ahead and force this on them completely. Give them these shots. Make them believe it's for their health. Stop playing.
Syphilis experiment, the
Come on now,
experiment.
and that was not even close to what
syphilis experiment. Why are you comparing that to shots? Like, okay,
really happened. Trust me. Tuskegee has 600 participants in the circumstance. When it comes to syphilis, they say they didn't give us health care. They didn't tell you about the over 500,000 women in Nairobi, Kenya with the tetanus shot that was found to have a sterility chemical in it. Verified by the Kenyan government. They shut it down because
now he's lying. He's lying. That was not verified by the Kenyan government. He's lying. I know all about that. Now this is a liar at this point. He's talking about you had once again white people over there with fake lab results saying that there was some foul play going on. When the Kenyan government retested some of the stuff, they found out it was foul play by the lab who said that there was sterilization going on. So the people who made the claim, the Kenyan government, their investigation showed that they were lying. They retested everything, and no, I mean, again, this is a complete liar at this point.
Sterilizing these women in Nairobi, Kenya. They didn't tell you about the 1,500 children over in Los Angeles who were experimented on with a dose of a vaccine that was 4 times higher than what was needed, and those children were given this shot without parents' consent. They didn't tell you about the MMR autism study, measles.
Okay, now again, if he's talking about children who are in detention centers, who foster. Say again, I know about all this stuff. I read, man. I was knee deep in this. So another argument is that children in detention centers don't have a say, and their foster parents don't have a say whether they're immunized or not. Like I think that's where you're going at that point. Yeah, because they're still state property, my man. Foster parents can give back those kids. So no, they can't just start deciding the kid's fate, playing dad. No, they still state property, and the state is supposed to have the best care for the kids, right? So now he goes to MMR. So this has been debunked 1,000 times. Go ahead, brother. Show us, Dr.
Trivalent vaccine, or 3 viruses in 1 needle that was injected into black boys, to where Dr. William Thompson, senior lead scientist over the CDC's vaccine division, admitted that this shot was leaning black boys onto the autism spectrum at the rate of 236%. Some studies say.
Okay, you're lying. That was Brian Hooker. Bad analysis of the data sets. Okay, who came up with that? Nobody else has ever verified that. So you mean tell me there's one doctor came up with some crazy number, extreme astronomical numbers about Black boys being exposed to autism through MMR vaccination. Now, mind you, before this fake study, the white anti-vaxxer movement said white kids were targeted among everybody. So, but the study shows that Black, I mean, the argument, it's all over the place. Okay, now, the data set is still available. The CDC makes the data set available for anybody to do a reanalysis on the study. Many were done, and they all concluded there is no connection between autism and the MMR vaccination. Now, there are other factors that contribute to autism, which Unc pointed out, okay? So you have, Unc pointed out many things, but what I point out was when you have, you got siblings, right? That's autism, at risk of autism or had autism, that twins and things like that, that makes the rate higher. You have conditions, environmental conditions that can contribute. You have, there's something with older, like couples that's like clearly a disadvantage. I mean, not disadvantage, but a difference in age. Like you got older men with younger women, and you got older women, period. That makes that can raise the percentage of autism. So you got things like that plays a part. And then you got the way, I forgot the actual term, but you have parents who have not taken, mothers who have not taken women, whose bodies are just toxic. You dig? And they have a baby and they expose their kids to possibly one of those spectrums of autism. It has nothing to do with the vaccine, but he spews his lie over and over and over. So I definitely wanted to play this part before. I knew it was somewhere in there. You see me just clicking. I don't know where it's at. I'm just clicking. And I got lucky.
336% more than Caucasian boys, meaning they were giving Black boys autism at the rate of 236% more than Caucasian boys. This is not a joke. This is not a game. They've been doing this for a very long time, and I didn't even mention eugenics. I can go down the list. So shots have been used. Shots have been used for a very long time when it comes to attacking our people. The syphilis study, or Tuskegee, was possibly, if not one of the smallest example, but they only shine light on that one because that is one thing that they could use to manipulate to now say, well, listen, it's because we didn't give y'all health care. We didn't give y'all solutions, but now we got something that is a solution. Black folks, we want to give it to you first. Bill Gates cares so much about Black folks.
There you go.
All of a sudden,
Right.
Stop it. See, we got to stop being played by these people. We know how it feels to be pimped. I think we know. We know how it feels to be played. Y'all should be able to laugh right now. I'm a big fan. Y'all better be pumping because I'm going to get real loose up in here. We know how it feels to be played. You know when somebody playing you, but for some reason we get confused now because they got a white coat on. They say, MD, I'm this. No, you a damn liar too. You a pimp with a white coat on. That's the difference. You playing us the same way the dude on the corner plays. You pimping my mama the same way the church.
Dude, I don't know how pimps do. Like, what kind of stereotype was that? Yo, y'all should know how pimping works. Dude, where you from where pimping was just common? I don't know anything about that pimping game.
And some mosques and other places too. So let's just get it. Bruh, it's very real. But we gotta be.
Dude, like, I gotta take a drink. This nigga talking fast and he's saying a whole bunch of reckless stuff. Let me get drunk.
Honest about it.
Shit. Hey, you got.
It's not called small facts. It's called big facts.
You're right, but goddamn,
Come on.
do you ever feel like I gotta stay clean, like squeaky
man.
clean, like?
Or you mean just about how you move? Because if you understand the game that you in, you gotta understand all the rules. You gotta understand what comes with it. It's not. It's focus. It's not easy. This is not something that people. These standards is what they say. Our community. What community are you? What community you got? What you talking about?
All right. Okay. So there you go. This is the second live today. Just want to play a little bit of this. I watched it for the first time with you guys. Pseudoisms at its best. And I did this for DJ Focus because he was on some foolishness earlier. So I said, you know what? I'm going to make Nation of Islam the topic today. And I ain't done with them. I might even go into their doctrine, okay? I might touch on their doctrine. Their doctrine is not well known. Like, we know about the Nation of Islam. We know some of their beliefs about white folks. but what they believe about black folks is not popular for a reason. They don't make it popular. They don't throw it out there out front, right? They hide a lot of information because it's ridiculous. Okay, so maybe, you know how we do, we talk about many things regardless of the topic, but I'm going to make it a point of interest to mention some of their crazy doctrines. And we're going to start off with how Allah was created. I think that's the funniest one. Their creation story is hilarious. If you think the Bible and Quran creation stories are funny, the Nation of Islam is hilarious. It's so hilarious they don't mention it in any public settings at all. Zero. You think you would be proud to talk about how human beings really got here, how the earth, stars, and you'll be proud to say, hey man, science is crazy. This Big Bang stuff, this evolution stuff, look what we teach and compare the two. Because Allah taught Elijah Muhammad this stuff. So of course, if Allah taught it, what scientist can know more than Allah, who created everything? Their creation story is hilarious. And I will go into it a little later. I got a class at 4 o'clock. I'll be done in an hour. I've been making spaghetti every day. This might be the week. This is a 7 days straight. And listen, we might got to do a spaghetti off because I don't think y'all rocking with me. I'm telling you, man, I got to make the best spaghetti. Last night, I made spaghetti, right? With turkey meat, of course, with no tomato sauce. Okay? I had noodles, had spaghetti noodles, no tomato sauce. Banging. I will put my spaghetti with no tomato sauce against your spaghetti with tomato sauce, your traditional spaghetti. I will embarrass you. Okay? So Ricardo says RIZZA Islam are playing them. Yep, and they are sitting there laughing. Yeah. Yo, listen, man. Listen. I'm coming back on after class. I'm going to eat first, make my spaghetti real quick. And I'm going to eat first, and then, believe me, fasten your seatbelt, get your popcorn, get your laughing barrel. You know, when blacks during Jim Crow, we had to laugh in the barrel because we didn't want to be all loud. White folks didn't want to be disturbed. You're going to disturb your neighbors, your children, your wife, your auntie, your mom, whoever you stay with, you're going to disturb them laughing so hard. So get your laughing barrel ready. All right. So thank you for pulling up. We had decent numbers this go around. You know, thank you. Even though other channels were live, probably with better entertaining material, we still show support over here. So I appreciate that. He said, that's not spaghetti without spaghetti sauce. Bruh, listen, man, believe me, because I get tired of the same thing over and over sometimes. But yeah, man, I figured out a way to make spaghetti with the noodles, no sauce. And I'm not saying nothing is added to the noodles. I'm not saying, Sosa, we're just eating dry noodles. No. Things are added to the noodles, but it's not spaghetti sauce. Believe me, it's competing with spaghetti with the sauce. So 7 days in a row, I get like that. That's why I'm so thin, by the way. I'm not thin because of possibly it's genetics, but I doubt it because everybody else in my family got weight on them. I'm thin because my appetite is so strange. It's so crazy. Like I drank coffee earlier today and I didn't have an appetite till now. So if I drink coffee in the morning, that kills my appetite. If I eat a Krispy Kreme donut, appetite done until about this time or later. So I'm starting to build up some hunger now and appetite. So I'm gonna finally eat. But that's how weird my appetite is. Coffee will destroy it for 4, 5, 6 hours. Okay, and then if I like something, I gotta keep eating it because I don't have an appetite for anything else. And then when I get bored with that one thing like spaghetti, when I get bored with it, I gotta think about like, damn, what else I want? Like, cause I don't have a thing for Chipotle right now or anything else but spaghetti. Like I can't eat that same turkey meat. I can't make a burger. I won't eat it. I might eat some of the burger, but I'll waste it. I got a weird appetite. It's weird. Okay, especially when it desserts, it's not weird. But with real food, weird. You would think because I ate something I loved at your house today, you'll make it for me next Friday, and you'll see I won't even eat it. I might nibble on it, won't touch it. You got to ask me in advance. Like, yo, do you want this, or you're wasting your money? Don't buy me pizza. Don't buy me, Thai food. Ask me first. Do I want it? Because you will possibly waste your money. Yeah. So anyway, I got a class at 4. I'm done at 5. Because I got to use this Zoom to send the link to her. So I got to get off this. So I'm done at 5. I'll be back on 5:30 because I'm going to go to sleep too early if I go 8 o'clock. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm trying to make efforts to go live earlier. So, we could chop it up a little longer. Because I'll be knocked out. I have no idea what Amber was talking about last night. I was gone. So check back by 5:30. Again, click the link. There's a pinned link by Facebook. Join the Facebook group. I always post the live links in there. Every time I go live, I post it in there. So you'll know immediately. All right. So our Navy beans. Yeah, we're gonna touch on. I got the books. I got the books. I'll read them for you. I got all the books. Hilarious doctrine. Even the dietitian, part of it. The dietary laws are hilarious. The Bible got way more. It makes way more sense. Their dietary laws are hilarious. He talks more about white folks being the devil than he talks about health in his own health book. Okay? He just couldn't leave white folks alone. In his health book, the white man's the devil all throughout it. Like, dude, can I learn